We're going to do a little exercise here. The numbers from 1 to 97 are on here. So what you're going to do is, you can't write on this, but however you want, count from 1 to as high as you can within a minute. Are you ready? You guys know what you're doing.
It's a connected dots.
You don't have to draw it, but yeah, you pretty much have to count 1 through up as high as you can do in a minute. Ready? Okay, go. You're done. Stop. Who got over 15? Who got over 20? Who got just one person over 20? What did you get? 22. All right. I think I got like 11. So now I'm going to show you the trick to this. And we're going to do it again. So fold it in half perfectly. Have to do it perfect hamburger way. And then do it hot dog way. Okay, so yeah, you got it hot dog and hamburger. Okay, now open it up. Now you've got quadrants, right? So this was done systematically. They put 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how they did it. So you know now, right? Also, this time, you can use your pen. You can draw on this now. So if you want to put a dot or circle it or cross it out or do whatever you can so that you don't have to look at that one again as you go, you can do it, all right? So we're going to do it one more time. Give you a minute, and then we'll see if you improve. You ready? All right, go. There you go. Who got over 15? Oh, everyone. All right. And who got over 20? Yeah, 30? Nice. 40. Whoa. How high did you get?
42.
Damn. You guys all improved then, is what you're telling me. All right, what was different this time?
It was easier to focus because you know a certain number is on one section.
What would you call that? You know the trick of it. So you got a technique or skill. What else?
Like I remembered were the first couple that I had already.
Oh, so you've already done this. You had just done it. So practice. Did anyone do the circling or the crossing out or something? Yeah, that made it so that you didn't have to look at the other things. You had a tool also. All right, so this is the difference, and this is pretty much what you're going to get in this class. We're going to give you the techniques and skills, and you're going to practice, and you're going to have tools, and once you have these things, you have an arsenal and ability. You will grow in your thinking, reading, and writing all at the same time, which will be useful for everything you do in life from this point on. Not to, exaggerate here or anything. Like, there's no exaggeration at all. The other cool thing about this is, does anyone think they suck at writing? Yeah? Does anyone think that they suck at other things? Like, who here is bad at math? Yeah, I'm bad at math. Does anyone feel like you're just bad at things? Like there's something that you're always going to be bad at it. There's no way that you're ever going to be good at? Okay, this is the problem with that thinking though. The only reason why you may suck at something is because you haven't worked at it. And yes, some things may become easier to other people, but if you work at it, you could still get better at that thing. There's no reason why you have to stay bad at math. I stayed bad at math because I have no reason to use it. There's no way you are just bad at something. Think about it with lifting weights. Anyone here work out? Yeah? Have you all worked out at one point in your life? Yeah, how do you get more muscles? Yeah, lifting weights. How do you get bigger muscles? Like not just muscles, but larger muscles than the muscles that you have already acquired. Pushing yourself, lifting more weights, right? Why would you think it's any different with your mind? Once something's not hard anymore, you're not pushing yourself. When I said some people it's easier for, what happens when a person that everything has come easy to, including school, finally reaches the point where they struggle with something? If everything has come to them with the littlest of effort, if they've never learned to persevere through difficult things, they will be more likely to give up since they've never had to practice pushing themselves. If you think about the qualities, like the things that you need to succeed in college or in life, being smart already is not one of those things. It's all about perseverance and grit, being willing to push yourself or not being satisfied with where you are. That's what you need for success because you can get smart. You can get smart about anything. I found my high school transcripts. I didn't do very good in high school. Like I did horribly because see, there's this thing that happens to you in high school and middle school, puberty, right? And your main concern, my main concern wasn't doing well in school after a certain point. My main concern was looking cool and pulling chicks. That's what we called it. Like trying to get girls to like me or whatever. I didn't succeed very well. I ended up doing very poorly. At my lowest point, I found, like if I'm looking through the transcripts, one semester I got a 0.8 GPA, 0.8. And somehow you can do that in high school because D's will actually pass you, right? Do they still pass you for D's? Yeah. Which is ridiculous. D's won't pass you here. I had to actually do continuation school to graduate with my class. Then I went and started working blue collar. I did construction and maintenance and stuff like that and realized I didn't want to do that anymore. But then went back to college. I actually worked at it, graduated with honors with all my degrees. And it was really just putting in the effort. When I started, I'm an English major, right? So I get in the class and they're like, hey, who's read this Shakespeare play? And everyone's like, yeah, who hasn't read this Shakespeare play? And I'm like, I haven't. So every time that the professor would give us an assignment like, hey, read Milton's Paradise Lost or just the first book, because there's like 10 books in it, which they're small, but they're dense. I just read the whole thing. When they asked me to read one Shakespeare play, I read as many of them as I could. I pretty much devoured everything I could so that I could catch up. So if that's you and you already see the need, we're not going over literature in this class. We're going over stuff that will matter for whatever field you're going into. It's going to hopefully give you perspective. Look at it as something to help. So when I took other classes, right? I didn't take pottery, which there's no problem with taking pottery, but I took classes like science classes. I took anthropology classes and things that would help weigh in on my understanding of the world. I minored in history so that I could know the context of the literature that I was studying. You want to learn as much as you can and grow as much as you can so that you can be well-rounded in your understanding of whatever field you're going into so that you can perform better in it and know what you're talking about. Probably the biggest lie, the most damaging lie that's taught to you early on is fake it until you make it. You ever heard that one? You can fake it in high school, and you could even fake it in college, but if you just fake it until you make it, you're never going to make it. You're just going to get better at faking it. At some point, someone's going to see through it, and your whole life is going to crumble. I mean, not to be a little too, drastic with that, but seriously, you will be a lie. And you could then become a meme, maybe, if you want. Memes make money, right? There are living memes out there, but eventually living memes become dead memes. And you can't make money as a dead meme. So this growth mindset thing, it is actually real, and I'm not going to make you write an essay on it because you can get the point. It's very clear, right? If you work at something, you will get better at it, especially not just with practice, but if I give you the tools, if I point you in the right direction. Does anyone know who Ty Lopez is? He's like, get a
5 mentors.
knowledge, right?
Just bought this new Lamborghini here. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought.
Knowledge. What I like more than these Lamborghinis right here is my books. Nah, man. So it's full of crap. But the idea is, I am your mentor here. I'm going to point you in the right direction so that you're not wasting your time with practice. You're practicing the right things so that you can get better at this faster. If you actually put in the effort here, you will not regret this. The problem is finding a way to push through what's hard, because everything around you is teaching you how to do things easy. There's an app for everything. Technology is awesome. We've got so many things we can do with technology, but it can also cripple us. You could just stare at a screen, you could stare at a TV show and not think at all. Or you could watch that same TV show and get a ton out of it because you're thinking through, oh, wow, look at all these plot holes. Oh, I bet you that guy's the killer. He's totally the killer. This is why. They just gave it away right here. You could be actively analyzing something and learning and growing in your critical thinking skills through whatever you're doing. One last thing here. You guys know about forming habits and stuff like that? Do you know how to break habits? Takes like a month. You know what synapses are and how thoughts happen in your brain, right? You build connections, stronger connections. If something's a habit, you've been building connections that have been strengthened over time in your brain. So we already know, we fully know through science now, that when you break a habit, you are forming another pathway and strengthening that pathway. And as you strengthen that pathway, the other pathway that you're not taking anymore in your brain actually shrinks and diminishes. So you can change your brain. Is that awesome? Super awesome. That means if you've sucked this far in life, you don't have to stay that way. So you have to fight it. It's hard. One thing I want to leave you with there is, if it doesn't challenge you, then it can't change you. So if you're not getting challenged, you're not putting enough into it.